Hi guys, it's Hayley. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be recreating this makeup look here, and if that looks like something you are interested in, then please keep watching. I have kept all products affordable for you, so it's obtainable for everybody to achieve. So you may even have some of these products. If you haven't, they are nice and cheap, so you can go and have a little look at them. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So to start, we're going to use the Pro Base Moisturising Primer from MUA, and we're going to take a pea-sized amount of that onto clean hands, and we're just going to apply this all over the skin. This is just to hydrate the skin prior to application of makeup. This can be done using a good moisturiser as well. If you haven't got a primer at home, that's fine. Just make sure that you moisturise your skin prior to your application. It doesn't have to be a primer if you haven't got one. So that's my skin primed. It's got a little bit of a tack to it, so that's going to really help the foundation stick to the face when we get to that point. And then for my lips, like I said in my last video, I always like to prime my lips before any makeup application, just so that you get a smooth application of lipstick or lip product. So we're just going to apply some of that to the lips. I'll always do this prior to starting my makeup, just to make sure the lips are hydrated when I'm ready to apply the products. So that is the Melty Talented for dry lips, hair tips, elbows, knees and cuticles. I just use this for my lips. So I'll do this as part of my skin routine as well. So that's that one done. So next we're going to go on to the eyes. So we're going to start with eyebrows. Now I don't have terrible eyebrows, so I don't really have to do an awful lot to them. I do, however, like to frame them a little bit. So I like to have a more structured brow. So for that, we're going to use, if I can find it, so we're going to use the Jeminibeauty eyebrow pencil. Now this is an Urban brand, so I will leave their website down below for you. I actually know the makeup artist who owns this brand, and she's absolutely fantastic. So I'll leave her Instagram and I'll leave their website down below for you to have a little look at. So that's Jeminibeauty. So with that, I've got soft brown is my colour, and with this pencil you've got your pencil end and you also have a spoolie at this end. So to start, we're going to use the spoolie at one end of the pencil, and we are going to start by just lifting that brow hair up, just so that you can see that natural line of your brow. Then we're going to wind the pencil, and we're just going to go in with that colour. Now I take it quite gentle, just because you want to ensure that you're getting definition and it doesn't look too dark and too fake. So we just want to pop it along the brow. This product is really pigmented, so you don't really have to go too hard or drag the eyes too much. We're just going to take that through the bottom of the brow. Now everybody will do their eyebrows differently, and it doesn't mean that your way is wrong, it just means it's the best way that you find to do your brow. Now we're just going to take this brow down to the point here, and as you can see, that's nicely defined, that first bit of the brow. Now very slowly I'm just going to take this bit underneath my brow hair here, and then I'm just going to lift the brush up to create brush like strokes, like so. Once I've done that, I'm going to go through the brow and just fill in any sparse areas. Now I have really sparse brows, So I do tend to need to do this quite a bit. I have a good shape to my brow, but I do have quite sparse brows, so it's important that I fill in the bits that aren't completed. So just go through this, and as you can see, by just lifting that product up through the brow, it gives you a lot more definition. Doesn't change the shape of your brow. We're not adding anything to your brow, we are just giving it definition. Obviously, if you're wanting to extend your brow, you can do, and like I said, any way that you do your brows isn't wrong, it's just personal preference. So as you can see, that's done now. That brow that took seconds. So what I'll do after is I'll just cut the brow out so that we can get a sharper look, but we'll go through that once I start doing it, and we'll go through it with you fully. So then we're going to do the other side. And what I tend to do with both of them is I'll go back to the spoolie and we'll just run that product right through the eyebrow. And that is my brow complete. So in order for that to stay in place, we're going to use a brow gel. Now, a nice affordable brow gel to use is the NYX Professional Makeup Tinted Brow Mascara, which is this one here. And I use the shade Brunette. So what we're going to do, this has got a really small wand. So it gives real precision. You can really get into the brows and really work it in without it being too big and unmanageable. So what we're going to do with this is quite simple. We're going to just run that through the brows. Now don't worry too much if you make a little bit of a mistake underneath the brow or on top of the brow. We are going to cut out the brow and carve it out, so we will be able to get rid of any mistakes we make. So we're just going to pop this through. The brow. Now this obviously does have colour to it, so just be prepared to see a little bit of a deeper shade when you put your brow mascara on, but that will set your brows into place. So that is the brow gel that we're using. So next we're going to go out to carving our brows. So for this I would normally use the P. Louise base, and it's what I've been trained with. I obviously trained at P. Louise, so it was what I was trained with. I use it on all my clients, I use it on my everyday makeup. But for you guys, I thought I would use a more affordable product. So I thought I'd use the All Night Long Concealer from Barry M, which is this one. And I'm going to take the shade Cookie. And all I do with this is I just apply a little bit to the back of my hand. Okay. And then we're going to go in with a flat brush, which is I'm using this one here, which is the DB11 from Doll Beauty. So as you can see, it's very flat at the top, nice and wide, so you can get a really good coverage, and curved at the top, so you can really follow the line of your brow. Okay, So these come in a Doll Beauty set. Doll Beauty always have offers on, so I'll link their website down below for you. So if you wanted to treat yourself to some nice brushes, then I highly recommend the Doll Beauty ones. They do synthetic and goat hair, so it all depends on what you want and what your preference is. But I'll link it all below for you anyway. So we're going to start with putting quite a bit of product on the brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to lift the brow up so that you're getting the whole brow, and then we are going to just start by very slowly carving out that brow. Now take it very slow when you start doing it. It's your first time doing it, just really take your time. It can be difficult to master, but it really does work for your eyeshadow, and I really want you to learn new skills. Obviously a lot of you out there will carve your brow out and you'll know exactly how to do it, but I know there's a few friends of mine and family of mine that really wouldn't know to carve out the brow, so I thought we'd include it in this video for you anyway. So we're just gonna keep carving that out. Like so. And then I'm just going to drag down the product from the top. Now you don't want to apply too much product to under the brow, because you will end up with a puddle up here and it will be very difficult to try and disperse that. So what you want to do is try lightly by putting enough product on but not too much, and go across. If you do find that you're getting a bit of a build up, all you need to do is take the tip of the brush and drag it down, and you'll be able to drag the build up down into your eyes. So we're just going to take this all over the lid, like so, and then we're just going to pat it all out to mattify that. And we're just going to use a fluffy brush here, which is just the Spectrum concealer brush, and we're just going to pat that down with the fluffy brush just to disperse it a little bit better. When we get to this end, we want to make sure that we're putting that back into the skin, so we're just rubbing that back into the skin, just so you don't have any harsh lines when it comes to doing your foundation. So that is that side. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more product for the next eye. Ordinarily, if I was using the P. Louise base, you wouldn't need to set the P. Louise base. You could go straight onto your eye with your eyeshadow. But with it being a concealer, if you had concealer under your eyes, you would set the concealer under your eyes. So I'm going to set the concealer on my eyelids. So for that, I'm just going to use another flat brush. So this is just another Spectrum A06 brush. Just a nice fluffy brush. So to set the eyes, I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. And we are just going to place that all over the eyes, just to ensure that base isn't too sticky or wet when you're applying your product. The P. Louise base is designed to mattify and to dry down, and for shadows to sit on top of it. But obviously a concealer would ordinarily be set. So that is your eyes ready to be primed. I know they look a little bit bright now, but obviously when your makeup is on, then they're going to tone it down a little bit. So the eyeshadow palette we're going to be going in with today is the Revolution Soph Extra Spice palette. Now, if you didn't know, Soph is a YouTuber and she does beauty videos and other kind of beauty lifestyle videos. She's really, really good, so I'll link her channel down below and you can go and check her out as well. So this palette has been on the market for a long time. I think it's been a good couple of years that this has been available. Now, I chose this palette because I feel like Revolution is a really affordable brand, and it's obtainable for anybody, and it's got a good colour palette, and I just think it's a good all-round palette for everyone to have. So I'll just show you the shades. So these are the shades. Beautiful. And obviously you've got your more neutral colours, you've got your more colourful shades, and you've got some shimmers. Now this one has 6 shimmers and the rest are all matte, and the shimmers are really pigmented as well. So what we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with Running Late, which is this one here. Okay, and we're going to take a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to use the Doll Beauty DB12 brush, which is this one here, and it's a nice large fluffy brush. Now I'm going to do a really simple look for you. I want you to be able to follow my tutorials and really produce something great yourself. I wouldn't want to come with a really hard blending technique and a look that takes a lot of blending, a lot of colours, a lot of building colour, because I don't feel like everybody is at that stage of makeup, and everyone might not want to be at that stage of makeup. You just want to do a look if you're going on a night out, if you're going to an event, if you're going anywhere. You just want to have a look that's obtainable, and that's what I want to try and stick to on this channel. I want to build looks that you can do yourself at home. So I'm going to start off with, like I said, the Running Late shadow here, which is a nice orangey brown colour. Okay, and we're just going to take that above the crease. Now I have hooded eyes, which means my skin overlaps my lid a little bit. So what I need to do is I need to trick it by making it look like I've got another lid. So I need to make another lid. So we're just going to pop this all over the above crease. So as you can see, my crease is here, but we're going above the crease. Now this will be the start of my new crease, and this is quite a nice transition shade as well. It's blending lovely, it's looking great, it's got lovely pigment to it, not too bright, but definitely has some pigment there, which is perfect. So just build that colour a little bit. Now with any makeup look and with any eyeshadow, you need to trust your process. You need to trust that what you're doing will end up good in the end, because it does. So just ensuring we've got that colour nice and built up above that crease. I'm going to go on to the other side. that out very slightly at the side, just to give us a bit of a longer eye shape. And that's your first colour applied. So next we're going to go in with another small Doll Beauty brush, which is the DB9 brush, which is another medium-sized blender brush. And we're going to have a mixture of sweet and sour and chocolate orange, which are these two shades here. So we're just going to take a mixture of them two on the same brush, and they are going to sit just below this colour. So we're in theory going to take this halfy between the crease and the top of the crease. So we'll just start that now, and this will just add some depth to the eye look. I'm just going to pop that all over. So as you can see, that just deepens the crease ever so slightly, but you can still see that nice orange above. Orange is a beautiful colour to use with green eyes, blue eyes. It really, really will make your eyes pop. So we're just obviously going to run that into the crease like so. I think we all know how to apply eyeshadow. I think it's just knowing where you're applying it and where the depth of colour comes from. So hopefully I can help you with that in this video. Don't worry about the lid, we're going to cut that out a little bit further on in the video. So you don't need to worry too much. Don't worry too much about under here. It can be as messy as you like. You're going to go in with a wipe and clean it up anyway. So all we're going to do then is we're going to take a nice fluffy brush. So I'm going to use this one, which is the Spectrum B06 brush, which is a nice fluffy one. And we're just going to take that around the outside of the transition shade, just to really blend that out, so you're not getting any harsh lines visible. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So next we're going to go in with the shade, I'm going to use a smaller brush for this one. So we're going to go in with, do I have a smaller one? Yeah. So we're going to go in with the Doll Beauty DB13 brush, which is a really small crease blending brush. Okay, and we're going to go in with the colour 21, which is this pink one here. Okay, so we're just going to go in with that. This looks very pigmented, so be sure to just tap your brush off a little bit. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to take this again into the crease. So we're going to again deepen that shade of orange and bring a more sunset look to the eye. So we're just going to take that in here. And just small circles around that crease. Like I said, this isn't going to take a master blender. There are a lot more blended looks I could do, but I just want this to be really easy, really simple for you to replicate at home. So we're just again going to go back in with that colour and take that. So again, we're just going to take that red colour, well, it's like a reddy pink, through that crease. pull on funny faces when they're doing the makeup. God knows what this looks like on camera. Right, so I'm going to go back in with the Doll Beauty DB9 brush, which we put the sweet and sour shades on earlier. We're just going to knock that off. Now all we're going to do is we're going to blend this pink out with the sweet and sour and the chocolate orange shade. So we're going to go half on and half off, and we're just going to do very small movements around the eye. Now this obviously is going to build the colour up for you, but it's obviously going to blend that pink shade also. Sometimes when you are putting a few colours into the crease, you can lose the colours underneath. So always just go back in and just apply that colour that you've lost. Just go across, so you're going to go half onto the colour that's already there and half onto your skin. So obviously because we built that colour up, we've now lost a little bit of colour with the Running Late shade, which is this one here. So we're going to go back in with that brush, top off the excess, and then we're going to go in and halfy again. We're just going to pop that colour back on. So obviously I realise this is going higher. That's just the process of eyeshadow. You can keep it quite restricted if you want to by just doing the same technique. But I always like my makeup to be a little bit bolder and a little bit brighter so that everybody can see it. So as you can see, it just really blends in them colours, but you don't lose the different shades that you've got, which is what gives you that kind of sunset appearance. And then all we're going to do is go in again with that big fluffy brush that we used earlier, and we're just going to run that around the eye. So next for the look, we're just going to cut very slightly the crease onto the eyelid. I couldn't think of what it was called. So for that we are going to use again the Barry M concealer. Again, if I was doing this and I would use the P. Louise base if I wasn't doing it with affordable products. P. Louise base is very affordable. It is £10, but not everybody has got it, and I feel like everyone's got a favourite concealer at home, so I just wanted to do something that everybody would have to hand. So I'm going to go in with, if I can find it, there it is. So again, I might use a different one for this. It's a bit of a smaller flat brush. Just have a little look. That one looks good. So for this one, I'm going to use the P. Louise Devoted to My Base flat brush, which is the number 7071. So again, as you can see, it's a flat brush, very thin at the top and rounded, so you can get that really nice cut. So like we did with the brow, we're just going to coat the brush with the concealer. Now, cutting the crease will take some time to get right. I still don't get it right all the time. It's a difficult process, but it's really worth it because it really gives you something for the pigment to hold on to when you're putting your shadow on. So what we're going to do is we're going to just raise the eye here, and I'm just going to very softly just cut that crease. Don't forget to breathe. Like I do every time I'm doing this. And we're just going to literally pop that on there like this. And as you can see, it just gives you a bit of a clear base to apply any product. So do the same here. I'm just going to cut that crease. So in theory you are just making space for that pigment. that you're putting onto the lid. Just like that. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that off the back of my hand. And then all we're going to apply then, I'm going to go back to the Soph palette, Extra Spice palette, and we're going to take the shade Dreams, which is down here. And we're going to take that on a flat top brush. And I'm going to use this one here, which is the Jeminibeauty DB14 brush. And we're just going to pop that all over the lid. So as you can see, you've got your colours and you've got your shimmer on the lid. So that is the eyes done for now. Then to line the eyes, we're just going to use this brown shade here, which is Brownies. Now, like I said previously, I don't like using black on my eyes, so I like to use a brown. So that is a nice brown, and then we're just going to take that just along the lash line, and I'm using the Jeminibeauty DB15 brush, and we're just gonna take that at the bottom of the eye look, just to smoke it up a little bit along the eye line. And it just gives a little bit of depth to the bottom of your eye look. So that's the eyes done for now. We will be coming back to them later, but for now I want to start with skin. So for the skin, I'm going to use, obviously I've already primed my face, so I'm going to use the Conceal and Define by Makeup Revolution, and this is in the colour F6. So I'm just going to take my hair back a little bit. And to apply this, we're going to use the PCO4 brush by Peaches and Cream. And we're just going to, obviously this is my own product, so I wouldn't normally use a doe foot on clients. I would pop it out onto a palette and use it that way. And we're just going to pop this onto our skin. And then all I like to do is with the brush, just take a setting spray and just wet the brush a little bit. It just helps pat the product in. So then I'm just going to use patting motions. So by using patting motions, you will allow the product to go on a bit more of a fuller coverage. So you're just going to pat that around the face. being quite gentle around the brows because you've already done your brow makeup, so you don't really want to go over them with any foundation. So when we get to that point, I'll take a fluffy brush. This is just the Doll Beauty DB7. All these brushes are included in the full Doll Beauty brush set, which I will obviously link below for you. And when it comes to the more intricate parts, so this part here and around your nose, we're just going to use a fluffy brush. And this looks quite pale on my skin, but it is matching my neck. And we can always warm it up with some bronzer. Okay, and I'm just going to take that small fluffy brush again, and I'm just going to rub in them harsh lines there that are under the eyes, like so. So then for the eyes, we're going to go in with the Barry M concealer again that we used for the eyelids, and we're just going to pop it. I like to pop it where I get the most darkness, which is here, and I'm just going to put a little line of it there just to kind of set that makeup off a little bit. And I also have quite a bit of darkness there as well, so we're just going to lighten that up. Like so. And then again we're going to go in with the small blending brush, the DB7 brush from Doll Beauty, and we're just going to rub that into the skin. Like so. Now I use a smaller brush like this just so that you can be a little bit more intricate with it. And we're going to take that right under the eye. Like so. Now because you haven't built that concealer over a foundation, it's giving you full coverage, but you're not getting too cakey under there, which is the look you really don't want to be going for. Take a little bit round into the corner, just to kind of shade that colour in. Then I'm going to take the Peaches and Cream PCO4 brush that we used with our foundation, and just, I'm sorry about the faces I'm pulling, and I'm just going to tap that in. Like so. As you can see, it's give a little bit of shape to your eye look as well. And putting foundation on will always make your eyes pop. So all I'm going to do then is just take the brush again, and we're just going to go around the whole face, just patting that through. Like so. And next we're going to take a big fluffy brush, so I'm going to use the PC24 brush from Peaches and Cream, which looks like this. And then we're going to use the Stay Matte powder from Rimel. This is in the colour Translucent. You're just going to get a nice bit of that colour onto your skin and just pat it on. I like to pat my powder on because I feel like it doesn't move the foundation underneath. Sometimes if you apply your powder with a brush and you rub it, you can disturb the foundation. So I'm just going to pop this all over my skin. Like I've said in previous videos, I do not bake under my eyes, but I will put some setting powder over there, but it will not be a lot. I tend to just put quite a bit on my entire face, and then when it comes to my under eyes, I'll just have the last bit. So I'll tap it on, get rid of product, make a funny face, and get that under the eyes like so. Okay, so now we need to warm up the face a little bit. So I don't tend to contour every day. I don't think it's necessary. If I'm going out or I'm going somewhere special, then I'll apply some contour and some bronzer. But for every day, I just normally use a bronzer. So for today, I'm going to use the bronzed bronzer from MUA. This is in the colour Solar Shimmer. Now this is a shimmery bronzer, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, a shimmery bronzer, but I really enjoy it. But they do a matte shade of this, so don't be too worried if you do like the bronzer but you don't like the shimmer to it. They do a matte version as well. So all I'm going to do is get a angled brush like this. This one is the DB2 brush by Belle Beauty, and then we're just going to apply that bronzer. So I'm going to apply the bronzer to, let's get quite a bit of product on there, and we're going to do it to our forehead. So I'm going to take it in nice circular movements. And then we're going to go above the cheekbone. So if you were contouring, you would go underneath the cheekbone. If you are bronzing, you're going to go just above the cheekbone. So you want to think of it as layers. You're going to contour, bronze, blush, highlight. So you want to think of it as layers. It needs to be seamless though. It doesn't want to look like a cake. You just want to be able to seamlessly blend it into one, but you need to think of it as layers to know where you're putting your product from. So I'm going to start just buffing this. Now always put your bronzer towards your nose. So you're aiming your bronzer to go towards your nose. Some people angle it down towards the edge of the mouth, but actually you're making your face look longer if you do that. So we're just going to apply this. Now one thing about this bronzer is it's not very pigmented. So if you like a lot of bronzer like me, you will need to build this up. And what I'm going to do is just use the brush I used for my powder. Oh, that's the wrong brush. And we're just going to take this again underneath that bronzer that you've just done, just so it looks a little bit more seamless. And again at the top. So obviously your face has a little bit more structure to it now. Okay, so that is your bronzer. Obviously if you were contouring it would go lower, so it would sit just under here. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of definition to my nose. So for this I'm just going to use the PC11 Peaches and Cream brush. and we're going to use some of this bronzer, not too much because it is a shimmery bronzer, so we don't want too much shimmer. So that's that done. So next we're going to go with blusher. So for blush we're going to use the MUA Blushed Matte Blush in the colour Rouge Punch. And on this we're going to use a, that's what brush there it is. So this is the Doll Beauty, again comes in the Doll Beauty brush set and DB3 brush. And we're just going to get a good amount of that. It's very pigmented, very, very powdery though. And we're just going to take that over the apples of our cheeks, like so. I also like to put a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on my nose. Like so. And that just gives a really nice flush of colour to the cheeks. I'll take a cleaner brush and just go on that contour a little bit. Okay, so next we're going to go in with some highlighter. So for highlighter I'm going to use the PC17 brush from Peaches and Cream. Looks like this. And for highlight I'm going to spray my brush with some setting powder. And we're going to use the Roxasaurus Contour and Highlight Palette from Revolution. Looks like this. Now this has got some contour shades in it. So it has contour shades here at the top and a setting powder, and then we have your shades for your highlighter. So we have the contour shades here, and we have a setting powder, and then we have the highlighter shades just here in this little bit of a quad. So we're going to go with this colour here, I think today. Maybe a mixture between this one and this one. So let's go for that. Oh, the little plastic thing. Don't know why I've kept that. And then we're just going to tap the brush off. Let's see how this performs, eh? So we're going to go above that bronzer on the highest bit of our cheek, so the highest part of our cheekbone, and we're just going to apply that, apply that in a small circle just at the top of the cheekbone. And up. And then I'm going to use a smaller brush. You don't need all these brushes, it's just that I've got them, so I just use them. So then we're going to put a little bit on a smaller, more dense brush, and we're just going to pop a little bit on the tip of the nose here and just down the nose. So that is the highlighter done. So just to finish the eyes, what goes up must come down. So we're going to put some product on the bottom of our eyelids. So we're going to go back in with the Extra Spice palette, and we're going to go in with a pencil brush. This is just the Zoeva Luxe Pencil 230, and we're going to go in with Running Late again, and we're going to just take that underneath the eye. Like so. And then we're going to take again the Choco Orange and the Sweet and Sour. A mixture of them two. Tap off the excess. And we're going to apply them underneath as well. Now for a little bit more definition, I'm going to go in with the NYX Professional eye pencil in the colour Golden Bronze. So that's this. Really inexpensive. And we're just going to run that just in the waterline. So it just gives a bit of depth to that eye look. Like so. Okay, so now let's just touch that up a little bit. Okay, so next we're going to go with lips. So for lips, we are going to go with the MUA Intense Colour Lip Pencil in TLC. And we're going to go in with the MUA Lip Matte Lipstick in Bonafide, one of them. So we're going to line the lips with this one. So I'm just going to I do overline my lips a little bit. I've got much more fuller lips on the bottom than I have at the top. Okay, and then we're just going to go in with the Bonafide lipstick, which is this one. Nice nude colour. At this point you could wear a nice gloss with it. I don't tend to do a glossy lip, it doesn't really suit me, so I will just stick with the matte lip there. Okay, so next we're going to apply some lashes, but before that we need to apply some mascara. So for mascara we're going to use the MUA Volume Mascara. Looks like this. And we're just going to apply that to my lashes. And then the lashes we're going to be going in with are the Jeminibeauty lashes in 1996. So these are very wispy. They have got a selection of lashes on the website, so if these aren't for you, then obviously have a little look on their website. They are very cheap as well. One pair of lashes is £5.20, so that's really, really good, really cheap. And if they looked after, they will last about 20 wears. So as long as you look after them, they're a really good investment. So I'm just going to cut this one slightly shorter because I do need it a little bit shorter than that, I think. Just going to take the end off. Obviously measure these to your eyes to make sure that you're getting the right width across the eye. So then I'm going to take the duo glue and we're going to apply it to the lashes. Just to the band of the lash, like so. And the same with this one. Now strip lashes can be difficult to master, but again it is just all practice, and as soon as you can do them you'll get them on in no time. Some lashes take longer than others. You'll have good lash days and bad lash days, but they will get on eventually. You can actually buy tools to help you get them on if you're really struggling, but we're just going to let that glue dry a little bit just so it gets a little bit tacky. So as you can see, the smaller side of the lash is going to go in the inner corner. So let's try, so we're just going to look down and apply the lash to our own lashes, like so. These are quite wispy and quite big, but I do like a really nice full lash. So that's that one on. And we're going to pop this one on as well. Like so. Now I don't tend to put mascara on my lashes. I find they're black enough and they're dramatic enough. I don't feel like I need to have any further darkness around my eye. So that is the eyelashes done. So now the face is looking a little bit powdery at the moment, so we're going to need to melt that powder in. So what I use for that is a setting spray. Now I use the Model's Own setting spray. This is well used by me. I do love it. It's very, very good, and it does make my makeup last longer. And this is really cheap as well. I got this from the beauty outlet and it was like £1.99, so it's really, really cheap and really good for every day. So I'm just going to spray that all over the skin, like so. And then I think that is the finished look. So thank you so much for watching my video again. If you did like what you see, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any further uploads. But until next time, you take care. Mwah.